All right, what's going on? We're here with John Chintanaroad. Excited to jump into it. So, John, really quick, if you could just tell us a little bit about what you do, and we'll just get right into it.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for having me, Caleb. So my name is John Chintanaroad, and I run a coaching program called Recruiting Accelerator. And we help people start their own profitable recruiting businesses, even if they don't have recruiting experience or even if they have a 9 to 5 job. You can create this extra business for themselves in the field of recruiting. So pretty exciting. And we were doing it for about 4 years now, put over 300 people through our program,
So
lots of
cool.
client results, which really makes us happy.
Yeah, so cool, man. Cool. Well, interested to hear your story with marketing team. So, from back when you went ahead and started Recruiting Accelerator to now, what did your journey look like trying to find the right marketers and the right media buyers to really manage your account?
Oh, yeah. Great question. It's been a journey of ups and downs and more downs and some ups. So I started by doing it myself. I joined a YouTube coaching program to learn how to run YouTube ads myself. Did that. That allowed me to like validate, oh, this works. Like people, I'm on sales calls and people are like, hey, I see your ads everywhere. So that was like, aha, like let's just do this forever. This is great, right? But I had a hard time managing my own ads because it keeps evolving so fast and new updates, and this type of campaigns no longer exist. I'm like, I can't keep up with that and run like the 12 other things I have to juggle to run my business. So I quickly realized I need to find a professional to run my ads. And
Yeah.
so one of the coaches in that program at the time who worked with me, I liked him. So I kind of, I'm a recruiter. So I feel like I recruited him to like run my ads for me. And it was great, for a while. I was paying him like $6,000 a month and he was doing a pretty good job. But then I realized that a freelancer can be really unreliable. He's like,
Hmm.
young guy in like rural Connecticut, and he's just like got back to me whenever he got back to me when life came up. He would just be offline for like a week. He'd be like, "Oh, sorry, man, I've been on vacation." I'm like, "Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I like you're like the lifeblood of my business. Like I need." And so after a while, I'm like, "I just this can't keep happening." And my salespeople are complaining because not enough
Hmm.
leads or bad quality,
Yeah.
and so I'm like, this is impacting my business and other people's livelihoods. I have to make sure they feed their families. So I made the hard choice, and we were friends to like cut that relationship and I think I overcorrected and found this super kind of whatever tier one agency at the time. I met a friend through a mastermind who's doing like $1 million a month in cash, and I'm like,
Hmm.
who does your marketing? Tell me, please. He's like, oh yeah, this agency, check them out. I'm like, okay, I'll just hire them. This is, I don't know if people are gonna. It sounds crazy, but they charge $25,000 a month,
Whew.
like base 25K price of admission. Anything on top of that is going to be like, oh, you want this? It's another 5K. A brand deck, if you want this funnel, it's no problem. Another
Hmm.
15K. I'm like, can't you just take it out of the 25K I just paid you? They're like, no, it doesn't work that way. So
Oh, the worst, dude.
I'm like, you know what? I'm trust. Like 25K is a lot a month, but if it turns to $1 million a month, just like they did for this other guy, why not? That was my logic. Needless to say, 5 6 months later, 150K out the door later, I was getting like $250 cost per call with iffy quality. So,
Hmm.
and I was really running like 15K a month ad spend, 20K a month. And so, uh, I think when I was talking to you guys, you're like, "How much are you paying for your ad?" And like, you're paying more to have someone run your
The
ads
retainer than
than,
the
than the ad
actual.
spend, right? So I'm like, I know. Well, I was just playing like follow the leader. This guy
Hmm.
was a leader, $1 million a month. I'm like, I'll just copy you. And at the time, I thought it would be that simple. It's not, right? So I was really in a bad spot. I think that drained most of my cash reserves. But I'm like, okay, I know paid ads work. I need to, and luckily, I think you guys came highly referred to me. I met with your team. I did kind of join in this, or when I talked to you guys, I will admit I was kind of like uh, just being burnt. So I was very skeptical,
Super
and I
skeptical.
remember
Yeah, I
saying,
would be
"Yeah,
too, man. I would be too.
I was saying to you and your partner, the code, I'm like, hey guys, so look, I'm willing to give this a try, but you'll be my last agency ever. If this doesn't work, I'm going to go hire somebody in house, and that's going to be hard and difficult to find. But
Yep.
I just, my poor heart can't handle, my wallet can't handle another painful experience again. And you guys, what you said was really cool. I won't forget where you're like, hey, we're gonna take care of you, John. We get it. But if you decide to go the internal route, we'll still be happy to support you there. We can help you find a media buyer. We can even stay on as like a partial consultant. Whatever you need, we want to help you. I'm like,
Mm.
okay, like I never heard that before. And so just from that onboarding experience alone was really eye opening. So I felt like I went do it yourself, the freelancer that was like herding cats, kind of like what people mostly do: hire friends and hire people they know. And then I overcorrected, hire like the enterprise class people that I thought would just make miracles happen. That didn't work, and I didn't. Then I found kind of the Goldilocks. The you guys is like that sweet spot of like,
Cool.
because you and your team have the resources of that 25K a month agency, but also have like the touch points, the care of someone that would be a freelancer. So you guys are kind of this interesting hybrid that I'm like, this sounds a little bit too good to be true, but you guys have delivered. And I think as a result of that, like, um, not only am I paying you guys a fraction of what I paid the 25K a month agency, but you guys are getting cost per calls like half the price,
Whew,
with
let's
better
go.
quality. So before I was like international leads, like, oh, I don't want to talk to people from Pakistan. We don't sell to that market. And they're like, oh, just give it some time. And I'm like, oh no, I don't have like at 25K a month. I don't have time. Right.
You can't,
Um,
yeah, can't.
yeah. So I'm really happy with everything that you guys have helped me with. And it's allowed me to really be at this point now where I get to scale my sales team. Like I'm looking to train in the next couple of weeks, like 4 or 5 closers to my team, so that I can get off sales calls and actually be more of an executive and like, lead the business. I just been so in the weeds, and I wouldn't be able to scale and have the confidence to do that if you weren't giving me cheap leads that are high quality. I'm like, so I'm very grateful for you guys, because I feel like with all the things, and I think people listening to this who are a owner, that we all have so many things, so many fires to fight every single day, so many personalities and departments and teams to juggle, that like to know that, okay, marketing is handled. Like I don't, that's one thing I don't have to like worry about.
Mm.
It gives me a peace of mind to know that I can focus on sales or product or client journey, other things that are equally important.
So cool. So cool. Well, thank you first off for just walking through all of that. That was awesome to hear. Honestly, makes puts a big smile on my face hearing all of that. So
Yeah.
I want to thanks for getting into kind of the story and the results. It's cool to hear that we've cut the cost per call in half and they're better quality. That's just awesome. But I also want to
Hmm.
get into just kind of how you feel like our team has treated you, right? Like I want to get into, you kind of touched on it for a second there when you said, hey, your team feels like they have the resources of an enterprise level agency, but they also have that level of care as if they're like, we're still a really small boutique shop that's going to put the time and effort in to make you feel like you're cared for and seen, right? So can you talk a little bit about
Yeah.
that? Like, how has that been? Has there been anything that's happened that you feel like maybe made you feel that way?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like there's been a few instances I can think of that really almost maybe like, well, this is like almost feeling disbelief, right? Like
Mm.
one example is you guys had a retreat, which is actually very cool that you put a retreat on for your team. That's awesome. And you're, hey guys, we'll be gone for like 1 day for retreat. So Friday, you still you can still get a hold of us, but we'll be at a retreat. But then I had pinged my account manager, Matthew, who's great. And then I question, and he's like recording a Loom video from. He goes, "Hey John, sorry if it's kind of a background noise. I'm in the laundry room of this place that we're staying at, but I wanted to make sure I get back to you. So I'm recording this Loom
Wow.
video about this thing. I think I was asking about some ad creative, and I'm like, wow, who does that? Like, most people when they check out, they check out, and I think unfortunately my experiences with other agencies have always felt like. Even with a freelancer too, it was funny. It felt like I was just a number. I was just like, "Hey, you're one of many customers we can just have to maintain.
Mm.
We just want to manage you, maintain you." And so I was used to having things take a few days to get back. Any question would be like, cool. Like, let's say a due date for like Thursday for that. And the due date will they'll just move the due date. I'm like, I thought by Thursday, now it's Tuesday. And they would just be like, oh, things came up. And
Yeah.
so I always felt like, yeah, just a number, just a client that, that lines their pockets. And I'm sure they tried their best at the time, right? But they I think just couldn't handle so many clients. Maybe they took on too many clients at one point to deliver. But yeah, the fact that my account manager did that for me was great. Even with you, actually, we were on a call and I think we were playing with B-roll, and I'm very particular and picky. I'm like, oh no, that I don't like that. That doesn't fit my offer, and you guys were not. And I felt bad. So I'm like, oh, I always felt like apologetic. Hey guys, don't get
Yeah.
mad at me, but this person in a suit at an office, like we work with like work from home people, like they should be
Yeah.
kind of like
Just
this, like
wasn't
at
a
a
fit.
desk.
It wasn't on brand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the five people in the conference room shaking hands, that's not in our reality. Because then I was apologetic because in the other agency they would get mad at me. They're like, John, like that. Let's focus on the big picture stuff. Let's just don't worry about that. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, for 25K, can't you just like take care of that for me, right?
Hmm.
So I had asked for some change to the B roll, but it was taking like I think a day or two, and I kind of said, hey, like this could, like, is there a reason why this is a delay? And then you jumped in and you said, hey, John, you know what? You're right. This shouldn't take 2 days for B roll. Like something happened in the handoff. Let me get on that right now. And then by the next day, it was done. And since then, it has been an issue. So
Mm.
the fact that you, as the one of the owners, takes that much accountability, and because you could easily have been like, oh, John, this is a practice, or like, hey, our editors are working really hard. They want to make it perfect, and like some people kind of sell me on why there's a delay. You're like, this is not normal. Let me fix this for you.
Yeah.
So that. So I don't know how. Actually, we never talked. I don't know how you do it of being able to offer that level of service and results at a fair price. That is at a fair price. So that whatever you're doing on the back end of it, it's working.
It's just because we care, man. We care about every single person deeply. So it's really cool to hear that's seen by you and recognized, and that things are
Yeah.
going so well, man. So one last question, and you can be completely honest, brutally honest here.
Yeah.
If someone is on the fence or they're thinking about, hey, what's the next agency I should go with? Who should I hire? Or maybe they're considering AdClass. What would you say to them?
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, 100%. Take a call with you, and yeah, Caleb will kind of fill you in on the processes, and yeah, and I've tried everything at this point, right? Other than an in-house person, which would have been my last resort, which I was really dreading because I'm like, how the heck am I going to find someone who's like amazing in everything, who's available to work, that can work for me? Like I was
Mm-hmm.
like, this is going to be almost like this daunting, impossible task to hire a director of marketing. But so I'm glad I didn't have to do that. Right, you guys has saved me, and I think it'd be fair to say that you are priced less than what it would cost me to hire my own in-house director of marketing. That in this kind of like a unicorn person I had in mind that could do everything for me. Like you guys come in at less than that, so I'm like, oh, let's just keep this thing going. So I'm
So
really
cool that
happy.
you said that too. That's one of the like reasons why we have our stuff priced the way that it is, because we want to provide the absolute best service that we can at a price that's
Yeah.
like you can't even get this if you wanted to hire it at this price, right? We've tried to really make it as irresistible and valuable as we possibly can.
Yeah, you're not giving me any options. It's just like, make sure that I, make you guys happy, keep me as a client because you guys are just being great. And
Cool.
yeah, and every little thing too. Even today, I'm like, hey, could you take this, update this? This is a new picture that came from a party this weekend. Could you guys update that to our creative? And you guys just took care of it. So,
So cool.
yeah, you guys are very, I think one last thing is even from a user or client, like the fact that I can ping you, the account manager on Slack, like whenever. Before with the other agency, there was this like dashboard they use, and all like I just submit a ticket to the dashboard, and there's a wait for a
Mm,
response. I forgot what tool it was, and then I'm like, okay, that's cool, but like another thing to submit, and there'll be a due date assigned to it, and it will get pushed a couple times, and
mm.
then like and every random holiday, like, hey, John, we'll be out this for this holiday. Like, I'm like, I've never heard of that holiday. What is that? Why are you guys taking every? So whenever there's a holiday on the calendar, I'm like, oh no, gosh, I'm not gonna be able to get access to my market. Like not just the main ones, right? But like every single holiday, I'm like, Halloween, really? Like it was just really weird. Right? Probably not Halloween, but that's what it felt like. I'm like, really, guys? Like, come
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
could you get? But the fact that I can ping you on Slack, just like anyone else on my team, I think it's important because it makes me feel like that you guys are an internal part of my team because you're
yeah.
just
Like we're right there.
right there in Slack, right next to sales and right next to my appointment setters. And also, I keep coming with you guys were able to do calls with me. Like I requested a weekly call. In the past, I had to like beg for a weekly call at
Mm,
25K a month. They said, okay, we'll do temporarily. And then the moment things were like running fine, they would move me back to twice per month.
mm.
And then when things start breaking, they give me, and so they were like begrudgingly offering a weekly call. And when you guys are like, yeah, sure, that's fine. I'm like, really? You sure? Okay. All right. Thanks. Like, are you gonna take it away? Like, so yeah, it just felt like I know you a couple of times. Yeah, on the calls I would say that stuff. You would laugh, but really though, I always felt bad asking for like a little bit of time, right? A half hour call once a week just to like run my marketing department, right? I figured would be, yeah. Anyway, so
Yeah, no, it's I mean that's not how it should be. You shouldn't have to feel bad when you have to ask for things from team members, right? It's not
yeah, so I think for that reason, like then the weekly calls feel like my weekly calls with my other department heads. So it just felt very organic and natural and seamless, and you guys worked with me throughout my ups and downs and evolutions of the businesses. So deeply appreciate that too. So really excited to continue the next leg of this journey together, where we get to like 5x ad spend, 5x
exactly.
sales, and go from there. So
Let's go.
yeah, with the ROAS numbers we have now, like I'm really excited for what's next. So I'm
Heck
glad
yeah.
that we get to do it together.
Yeah, thanks so much, man. We are equally appreciative of you and the partnership we have, and we are so pumped to scale up with you as well, man. So thanks for taking the
Okay.
time to chat with me today, and yeah, man, let's take this thing to the next level.
Yeah, let's do it. Can't wait.